Hey everybody, I'm Scott Weichel. You're listening to My Kind of Country on MKOCRadio.com. This lady has a brand new single being released on Valentine's Day and a new album coming out on February the 24th, and she's here with me to discuss it today. Her name is Sara Simmons. Sara, how are you today?
Hey, I'm great. It's a little chilly here in Nashville, but it's warm in the house, so I'm thankful.
Well, that's a good thing, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I'm very
I don't
excited.
envy. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's all right. I'm very excited about your new music. I really love your new single, Oh I Need You, and that's also the title of your new album, right?
That's right. Yep. It's a fun song. I was joking around with the guys when we were in the studio. I said, "Oh, let's do some maybe some grass sound and stuff, and just let's put sticks on here and see if we can just change the feel of it a little bit and shake the grass world up just a hair."
Yeah, I really like the sound. I guess they're calling it an American grass sound, so that's a good description, I think.
Yeah, it's kind of. I think right now we might be just trying to figure out where to get everything placed, and so maybe a little bit in the middle might be the warm spot.
Yeah, absolutely. With country music, most people, at least what I've found anyways, they relate to the songs and the stories that the songs tell. And, sometimes the instrumentation is a little bit different, but I think it's those songs that really brings it together for everybody.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
And I understand you have written every single song on this new album. That's really great.
Yeah, it's fun. We have a little cozy house. It's small, but I just use cozy. Sounds a little nicer. And we have a guest room that also serves as my writing room and where I kept vocals. And so usually every morning I'll go in and just write a little something, or I don't know. I don't even remember where I got this lick from. But I remember I wanted a certain little bass line on it, and so that was my mission for the whole song, is to have this little lick going through the whole thing, and it's just been fun. And to veer off of Oh I Need You, I was thinking about country music and Sauced. That's my other fun song on there, and so it's been fun to kind of write something a little, I don't know, pushing the envelope and still just be fun about it. Maybe a little Roger Miller like.
There you go. Hey, that's great.
Yeah.
I listened to Sauced too. I really like that one. I was talking to Jennifer about it earlier, and I said it's what I call a Loretta Lynn attitude song.
I hope you got the edited version.
I did. Yes, I did.
The funny story. Well, I don't. I'm not sure if I can tell that story, so I'll behave. But
oh, you can tell. It's internet radio. Go for it.
Well, it has the word whore in it, and Jennifer and I were talking, and she says, I'm not sure if that's gonna work or not. And it's okay. So we sent an email to the engineer and said, hey, can you put a cowbell in there or something? And he texted us back and he said, I've never had to de-whore a song. Oh my gosh! So we had a good laugh with that one.
That's funny. I love it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you could play that part, but
hey, I that's one of the things I pride myself on this station is we play all sorts of stuff, and we just gotta let it fly, and my listeners love that because it's real. You might as well, if you're gonna put it out there all the way.
Tell the story behind it and watch it go.
That's right.
So it's been fun. Let's see. I think Fly Away Little Devil. I was actually watching a Ashley Monroe interview at the Country Music Hall of Fame, and I don't know what it is she said, but I pulled out my phone so quick, and I got in my little note section, and I just started writing. And I thought, gosh, I need to write something along the lines of that. And so anyway, that's my thought process to Ashley Monroe. It's just great stuff.
It's this all the material on here. At least the songs I've heard, four of the songs on this album, and I really like what you're doing. I like the style. I like the energy that you have, and as I said earlier, the songs tell stories, and good, bad, or indifferent. That's what country music's all about.
Absolutely, yeah. It's I had a lot of coffee when I was writing.
I'm sure. I'm sure. No doubt about it.
Yeah.
Well, folks, I want to let you know you can go to sscornpickers.com. That is Sarah's official website, and you can order her new album and the new single as well, or download however you get your music. And she has some other great music there as well. I listened to the song "Out in Durango." I really like that one too. That's from your previous project.
Yeah. Yeah, that's I actually grew up in Colorado, and that's probably about 4 hours south of where maybe 6 hours, I don't know, but I'm just a fan of writing about what you know, and that's home for me. So it's one of my favorites as well. Cute little one.
It's a good one. I like it. Well, give me a little bit of your background. Tell me how you got into the music business. And I know that you've been playing in Nashville a lot. And you've been at Music City Bar and Grill and the Station Inn and all the great places down there. So give me a little bit of your background and your influences.
My background was, let's see, I was born in Iowa, and so that's a little snippet of just the farm girl in me. And then we moved out to Colorado when I was, I don't know, probably 3 or 4, and so that's where I spent most of my time, being outside and just hanging with music. And my next door neighbor actually told me of an oldies country radio station that I should listen to when I got my first radio. And so it was then that I had started listening to Merle Haggard, and I think Dawn Williams was out at the time as well. So definitely influenced me pretty large. And then also church songs like Bill Gaither on Saturday and Sundays. That was really big. And then Bing Crosby, which is funny. We listened to him every holiday, every Christmas. So,
oh yeah, you got to.
I'm a fan.
Absolutely, you got to. And interestingly enough, Merle Haggard cited Bing Crosby as one of his big influences too. So there you go.
Oh, hey, I'm on the right boat then.
So how did you get to Nashville?
Yeah.
How did you get to Nashville?
How did I get to Nashville? Oh my gosh, that's a crazy story. I've probably moved here 10 times at least and left. And yeah, it's just been I wasn't even 21 when I moved here the first time, and so I would go into bars like back home growing up. They just knew that I would go in, sing 2 songs. I'd sing Crazy, and I would sing Except for Monday. And so I think I was 13, and I started singing in the bars back home. And then I would just go home, and it would be fine. And when I moved down here, I kept getting kicked out of bars. I was like, I don't drink. I promise. I'll just sing and go home. Sometimes I got lucky, sometimes I didn't, But so I moved home really until I was probably about 21, and then I came back, and then I would, go broke. Then I'd move home, and anyway, so I've been back here probably about 4 years now, and it's just been fun. I've met some of my old friends and met more people that have just influenced me greatly. So it's been a fun new time to be back here, and my writing has been it's gotten more fun. I've got to be more creative, and it's been a good time. So I think I've been here, it might be 4 years, I think. So I was good. I was a great town. Always something going on.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time in Nashville, and I meet some of the greatest people. And I know as a songwriter too, there are a lot of great songwriters there, and everyone always seems to work together, and they're very supportive. And there's just a lot of great people there.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't done any co-writes yet. I'm trying to hold out for those people who I really influenced me. Dean Dillon is a huge
Oh, yeah.
influence, and
Yeah.
then Carl Jackson and Larry Cordell and Jerry Salley. All those guys were like, oh my gosh, I want to be them. Sit
Absolutely.
inside their head for 5 minutes and just see what they think.
Yeah, Dean Dillon's great. I had him on the show about a year ago, and man, I'll tell you what a great, what a history he has. And I think he's doing a show in Nashville here pretty quick too. I think I was just reading something on that.
Yeah, I think he's at the Nashville Palace, February, 10th. I don't know. What did you say? Oh, yeah, we'd have to look that up. I
Yeah,
got somebody
it's-
lipping it to me, but I don't read lips.
I know it's coming up. Anyway.
They're swearing at me, and then I know what they're saying.
Well, and
Oh, gosh.
you were also on the Time Life Country Music Cruise.
Yeah, we just got back from that. That is always fun. There's so much food. But yeah, I got to kind of walk in and sing a couple songs and watch all of my idols. I guess Jimmy Fortune was on there, and he just killed it.
Oh,
You
yeah,
you
he's
can't
incredible.
go wrong going to listen to him. So I sang I sang a couple. I don't know, C'est La Vie, and a couple Tammy songs, and it's just fun to get to do all that great country music and know that it's played by all these session players who absolutely love what they're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. That's really cool.
Yeah.
You wrote a song for a good friend of mine, Wade Hayes,
Oh yeah, Wade.
Beer in a Bar.
Yeah. Well, the story behind that, it's actually funny. I was playing downtown, I don't know when it was, a couple years ago, and this lady comes in the bar, and her and her husband were so sweet. And I looked at her. She's like, sorry, we got to go. And I looked at her, and she goes, I'm sorry, honey, we're just here to have a beer in a bar. And I thought, oh, golly. And so actually, it may have been a weekend that my guitar player was out playing with Wade. I just know he was gone, and I got on my phone and I wrote down Beer in a Bar, and I went home and I wrote it just that weekend. And by the time he came back, I was like, okay, you got to hear this song. It's called Beer in a Bar. And so we pitched it to a couple people, and Wade was like, absolutely, he'll come over. So he came over and cut the vocal on it, and I was in my height of glory. It was great.
That's super. Wade is just a fantastic artist, and we've gotten to be good friends over the years. He's been up here in Michigan a lot, and we've spent a lot of time together, and I think the world of him. He's such a talent.
Oh, he is so kind, and his wife is an absolute hoot. She just makes me laugh to no end. We spent some good time on the cruise together, and oh my gosh, she just had me rolling the whole time.
That's great.
He got a good one.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Jennifer was telling me that you have a pretty good Merle Haggard story, so I got to ask you about that.
Oh yeah. Gosh, I don't know how long ago it was, but I was able to go on his bus, and I've never smoked any pot before. Actually, I've never done anything, insanely crazy. And I got on the bus, and I remember I had a white T-shirt on, and I thought, oh my gosh! First off, I was so excited to be on his bus, and then it hit me how it smelled inside the bus, and I thought, oh gosh! So I scooted over towards the front of the seat I was sitting on, and every time somebody would open the door, I would just gasp for air, fresh air. And I thought, oh gosh, they're probably looking at me like I'm just crazy. What's this girl doing? But also it was amazing. I don't think I'd ever been on a bus, I guess, before that, but he had swivel chairs and a little I don't know, like a coffee table or something, and they moved out, and so they would move those, and the liquor would come out. And I just watched them pull all this alcohol out from the most random places that I would have never thought about. So anyway, that was always fun. I was tell that story, but yeah, so.
The life of a country star.
Oh my God! So, maybe that's what I'm missing.
That's great.
Oh yeah.
I was reading some of the people that you've worked with, and one of the musicians that I have a tremendous respect for. I've worked on a couple projects with him, and his name has been coming up a lot lately, and that's Aubrey Haney.
Oh, I love Aubrey. Oh my gosh, I met him at the station inn, and he's such a cool guy, and just however I mean, his playing is just perfect. And so I was actually, gosh, we were up at the studio, and the guy's house we were at, he said, well, Aubrey just was like one exit up from me. And I said, oh, okay, well, here we go. So I sent him a text and said, hey, could you play on this swing song? He said, sure. And it was just, it was just like that. And it was so smooth. And he said, you want to be here for the, when I record? And I said, well, if you want me to be, I will. He says, no, it's all right. So I stayed home and paced the floor because I wanted to hear it. But yeah, Station Inn is just one of my favorite places. It's anybody who's anybody, and it's such great music. They don't have anything but great there. Yeah. So gosh, he's just a treat to have, and such a nice guy.
I was just in awe of him. I was involved with a project with Freddie Hart before he passed away, and Aubrey played on that album, and some of the stuff he did, it just brought a tear to your eye. And I told him, I said, you're channeling Johnny Gimbel. It's the best way I could describe it. He's so smooth, and I just think he's such a great player.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. We get in the studio, and I'm like, gosh, I hear like tinny sounds, and I don't even know if that's the proper word for it, but Aubrey doesn't, and it's perfect. It's clean. His tone is just spot on, and after he played that, I thought, okay, well, I'm just calling him forever.
Yeah, he's great.
He's endless work with me.
Now he's playing on. Is it on the song "Tell Me When"? Is that what he's on?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's one of my favorite. That's probably my favorite song on the album. I think it's just right there. It's kind of got the, a jazzy swing type thing to it, and I really like that one a lot.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it's definitely one of my favorites. I love swing music though, so it's hard to get away from. Oh, I'm gonna write a whole whatever album. It's like, gosh, I don't know if I can get away from that.
Well, you're on the right track. This is a fantastic album. And folks, again, I want you to go to sscornpickers.com. We'll put that information on our Facebook page. The brand new single is "Oh, I Need You," and that's also the title of the album that'll be out on February 24th. And we're obviously going to play that song and some other songs from the album tonight. And we're talking to Sara Simmons today about this great project. And Sara, what's coming up for you as far as tour dates and great things happening this year for you?
Well, we're just pushing the projects right now as far as tour dates, and gosh, whoever's saying come hang out with us, we'll be there. Come summertime, we're like crazy. We're gonna be out in Cheyenne, Wyoming during Frontier Days, and I think we fly out maybe the 18th or 19th, and we play every day, 19th through the 26th, and then we fly out the 27th, the morning of the 27th, to go play in Ohio for that evening, and then we'll fly back to Nashville. And then we're playing up in Iowa at one of the fairs up there, and then we're going to go into Canada, and I don't know what's after that.
Wow. They will love you in Canada. You are playing the right kind of music. We have a lot of Canadian listeners. In fact, I have a DJ that does a show on my station from Canada, and they absolutely love really good music up there. So you're going to be accepted with open arms up there, I have no doubt.
Well, that's wonderful. I'll take it.
Absolutely. Tell me about the producer of this project.
The producer of this project, well, let's see. His name is Kevin Key. And he is also my guitar player, and he's like one of those wonderfully annoying musicians who can play anything that's put in front of them. You know those people?
Yes.
And I would say, I play a pretty not great acoustic, and I would think, well, God made people with every talent, and so I just call those people who have the talents I don't.
That's how I always felt, too. I'm with you there.
Yeah. Yeah, and gosh, he does good. he does good because I'm pretty I'm a perfectionist. So we'll sit there and some days we have our rounds as far as like, oh, I want to hear this or I want to hear this, but really good to just kind of throw things off of, or like I don't know notes sometimes as far as like playing on the guitar, and so I'll just hum them and I'll say, oh no, can you do this little lick, and so anyway, he just does a great job of getting all of that lined up and calling the players and making sure everybody's on board for studio days, and we'll just have a good time after that.
That's cool. And I know he's worked with some pretty big names too, Mark Chestnut and Mark Wills, and of course Wade Hayes.
Yeah, let's see. I don't remember the dates or when he's worked with Chestnut, but definitely Mark Wills. We were actually out to lunch with Mark Wills the day he was invited to be a part of the Opry, and so that was a pretty big thing for us. We were at, I think we were at Cheddar's, I don't know, and Mark's like, I think they're going to ask me to join the Opry. And we're like, yeah, and he goes, well, I don't want to jinx it, but there's just some things that have been going on, and so he was telling us about it, and we're like, gosh, that's great. And so anyway, he had played for Mark, I don't know, 5 years or maybe give or take, and then with Wade and just a bunch of great people, great country music and great people. So it's easy to just put those two in the box and roll with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, he did a great job on this album, no doubt about it. And you mentioned Cheddar's. I was introduced to Cheddar's the last time I was in Nashville. It's the first time I've been there, and I'll tell you what, that's like Cracker Barrel with an attitude. I love that place.
Oh my gosh, that's funny, and that's right. You nailed it. Yeah, we only go so often because it's like Thanksgiving. It's like, how do you say no to all that stuff?
Oh man, I remember they brought out these onion rings. It was like a foot tall stack of onion rings. I'm like, man,
You come to the South, everything's fried, and you gotta go, oh my gosh, how am I gonna get to the gym?
That's all right. It's good stuff. Good stuff. Well, Sara, it's been a delight talking to you, and I love talking to you because I can just tell there's a smile on your face the entire time. You've got an infectious personality. That's just great.
Oh, well, I've enjoyed it, yeah, and I think we might have some video clips or something. I think we've got a few things. We'll post on Facebook and definitely put the links in for My Kind of Country and your name and get folks over to the site.
Well, we appreciate that, and we're looking forward to getting this out to our listeners, and we're going to play Oh, I Need You, the new single right now, and a couple other songs from this album as well for you. And you can go to sscornpickers.com and get this great music and some of Sara's other great music that's available there, and check out, she's got a nice fan club there, just a lot of cool things on your website. I enjoyed looking around on there today.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, and thanks to Jennifer Herron for getting us in touch. One of the best in the business, and I've worked with her for a long time and just think the world of her, so you're in very good hands.
Thank you. Yes, I feel like that too.
Absolutely. Well, Sara, thanks so much for being on My Kind of Country. It's been an enjoyable conversation. I hope you'll come back again sometime.
Oh, I would love to. Thank you so much.
All right, that is Sara Simmons on My Kind of Country. Here's the brand new single, and we're going to play a couple others off of this great album for you as well as we continue with My Kind of Country here on MKOCRadio.com. Sara, thanks again.
Thank you.
Through brain. When you kissed these lips of mine, it was serendipity. Oh, I need you. Oh, I need you. When you whispered in the moonlight, I knew where my heart belonged. With a glitter-filled sky, I knew that I need you. Oh, I need you. You're still like the farm boy I fell for way back then. When you smile